That's where we're going. Plodding along since 2018. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Papa Jesus. I think it's episode 104. Plodding along, we shall. Thank you to all that tune into the show. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe to Papa Jesus. Catch us on Gareth PGH on Instagram if you want to hit us up. But Actor Carlos Diego Pereira III, my trusty co-host and producer. How are you doing, bro?
I am knackered, bro.
Even me. This is going to be a nice, chilled, slow your roll episode, but I guess we'll probably ramp things up as we go along.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, you said that you had a pretty, hectic weekend. I also had a pretty hectic weekend. So what did you get up to this weekend, man?
Well, dude, this weekend was the first time I felt somewhat like normal, completely normal. You know, barring... Yeah, I mean, I haven't really gone out much, and I try to avoid, places, and, I've been a bit anal with this whole fucking situation, that. But, so, I got over it, and so I was like, I'm going to start introducing myself back into society and doing these things, because I've been seeing friends and, gradually, getting comfortable, and then now I went out literally the whole weekend. Look, I did my best to be as safe as possible, but I had a blast, dude. I would say it was probably the best weekend I've had this year.
Well, that doesn't say much.
Well, no.
Oh, you had a wedding, this weekend, and there was another
No, but the wedding is a single. I mean, the wedding was amazing. I really thoroughly enjoyed it, but there were lots of responsibilities and all that kind of stuff. This is the first weekend I felt completely free, and was able to go do this, go do that, and then from there to there, and this to that, and it was sick. I think I got it kind of off my chest. And now I can chill out again for a bit.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to just overdo it, No. One weekend's cool. A couple of weekends, I don't know. But it was rad. I mean, I went to a couple of restaurants. Even went to a bar.
What?
It was really fun.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's always rad to have like a week. I mean, it's rad to have a weekend full stop. But to have like a cool weekend, especially these times, and even though you trying to be as safe and cautious as you can't really be 100%. Otherwise, just stay at home for the rest of your life by yourself,
Exactly, but that's the conversation I've been having with myself for a very long time, because I mean, I'm vaccinated, all that kind of shit. My parents are, all the people that are in my close, knit situation are as well. Yeah. And so that gives me that kind of back in my mind. It's like it's not going to be so bad if it does happen.
Yeah, man. But like I said, it's good to have a weekend every now and again.
Yeah,
you feel rad.
Yeah, dude, it was great. But what was yours?
Well,
why you? Because we probably knackered for different reasons.
I'm knackered for a totally different reason. Well, my weekend actually started on Thursday. After work, went to Soundcast Studios to have rehearsal with 3 more white guys. Mm-hmm. Friday, had a rehearsal with 3 more white guys. Saturday morning, drove to Moriesburg.
Where's that?
That's like almost 2 hours away, past Melkbos Strand, past those places.
Wow, down the west coast.
Yeah, past Darling, all that stuff. We went to Moriesburg.
Jeez.
Because a mate of ours, Craig Waring, also known as Craig Warpig, if you're a friend of his on FaceCrack.
Recent new sub.
Oh.
I recognize it. Thanks for the sub, Craig.
Hey, Craig. Yeah, it's excellent. So we went to his bar restaurant vibe, and we set up and we played there with and we just like rock and roll and stuff like that. And it was cool. It was like about 15 people there, all them having their dinner and stuff, and some old people and some young people. And then like after the show, we were just jamming. Like Anton would just be playing guitar and singing by himself, and then I would play drums, and then we played like a Johnny Cash track, and then the old people started lung adaming, and then we just played like covers of stuff that we could remember. It was not like anything we rehearsed. So they were like dancing and having a good time. And then once we packed up, and then we went to Craig's place because we were staying over at his place at like in tents. So we were in tents, and then I got to my tent at 2 a.m, and for some reason that night in Morrisburg they had an all-nighter rave.
Oh, wow.
Which must have been quite close because it was loud.
I love
all
how
the roosters were going off and they went till about 9 a.m. It was just this blasting music in the background. I could barely sleep. And then packed up, and then I left Mauriceburg, went back to my place, dropped off my kit, picked up my electronic kit, and then I went to Meadow for Deadbeats rehearsal. And then I got home, and then I messaged you, we're going to do this on Sunday. And you go, race. I'm like, thank God. And then I watched the race, and then I went to bed. I was boiling hot, put the fan on my face, and I just conked out, and I struggled to wake up this morning.
Dude, it's so funny how you were like, no, it works better for me. I love that dedication, though, because you were willing to still do it. Meanwhile, I forgot, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot to talk to Art and tell him that we can't do 7 because 7 is the Grand Prix. And we're both not going to miss that.
No,
especially at this stage of the season. But we'll talk about that in the sports update.
No, but I can't, drop.
Okay, but you had a pretty, doesn't it feel nice and normal, like as I was saying, to go do those things and play gigs? And
it was
you had
rad.
a double gig?
Yeah, it was rad to do it, especially like a road trip kind of vibe. Packing my car, literally not a single bit of square centimeter space left. My car was filled with drum and music and PA gear, just full. And the two of us, we cruised there and cruised back, stopped off at the Wimpy on the way, because that's what you do.
I also had a Wimpy breakfast this weekend myself. Yeah.
Can't go wrong. Well, you can, but you can't go wrong.
Yeah,
but you could. But
Jared hates whiskey. Not whiskey. Wimpy.
Well, not people. Jeez, I could talk forever about Wimpy, about why people hate it and why people are like okay with it. But the reason why people love it is literally nostalgia, because it tasted the same when you were 2 years old.
Yeah, but it tastes so good though.
It must be nostalgia, because it tastes exactly the same for me as when I was a little wee one, no taller than the knee of a...
You know what that means? Just lots of sugar.
Yeah, but like my grandmother used to look after us when we were still living in Pretoria, and she would take us to Wimpy, and it tastes exactly the same then as it does now. It's like familiar. It's like a security blanket.
I got to agree with you right there, bro. But like and also maybe that's what it is. Like after a little bit of a night, a little bit of a hangover, all you want is comfort food, and the best comfort food you could think of
is a layer of grease.
Years back in the day where you woke up and you went to Wimpy with your parents, because we did that for years, and I looked forward to every single Sunday. We would go shopping. I'd go shopping with the parents, and at every shopping center there's a Wimpy, so they would take me to Wimpy, and we'd go have a Wimpy breakfast. It was amazing.
Yeah, dude.
Amazing how we went from gigging to Wimpy. But yeah, that's...
Wimpy is road trip food, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to go to Wimpy when you go on a road trip.
Totally.
Every time I've done a road trip to play a show like Joburg or anywhere, we would stop at Wimpy. It's like the rule.
And in a lot of places as well, there's a Steers next to a Wimpy.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're in business together. I don't think so. But Steers or Wimpy.
Wimpy.
Yeah, all day.
Yeah.
Now, you'll have a lot of people that say,
Steers.
No way, Wimpy, Steers all the way.
Yeah. Now, listen, I enjoy a Steers, but the thing is, I remember when Steers opened up in Cape Town. This was a long time ago. One of the first ones was in Maynard Mall, Wynberg. Went there, and they were amazing. And then they just kind of like tapered off over the years. Now they're at like a level where it's pretty much just a sauce sandwich now.
Jeez.
You know, it's just like caked with sauce, and it's good, but yeah.
I used to enjoy the Steers only at 2 a.m. on the corner at Claremont Engine there after a big night on the Joel.
Yeah.
And we used to get obviously we'd order Steers there because it was the Ubers would stop there and all that shit. I don't even know if Uber was around there.
I don't think so.
I'm, just throwing that in there.
Yeah, but my point is Wimpy supersedes. Was it like that? Wimpy, Steers.
Yes, definitely. And there we go. We agree on that for sure. And it's what I always have all gold in my No, but listen.
Yeah, I'm listening.
No, I always have all gold in my fridge that everybody else uses when they come here and have their Burry rolls or whatever, and I've got the Wimpy sauce that I buy as well, and they're next to each other.
Dude, are we brothers?
Dude, I mean, you can't have French fries, basically. I mean, you can recreate your Wimpy experience by just having the tomato sauce.
Dude, there's nothing like having a tomato sauce that's got nothing to do with tomatoes whatsoever.
Yes, and more to do with vinegar.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of vinegar in there.
I can have Wimpy's tomato sauce and mustard, but I can't have All Gold. Or McDonald's.
No,
or
I don't mind
barbecue sauce.
I don't mind any of the tomato sauces or ketchup, as they call it in
I'm not
Morocco.
a ketchup fan.
But I like Heinz. I don't mind All Gold, but Wimpy's my favorite.
You know what? I think they are phasing out Simba tomato chips.
Why? What, like the Mexican chili?
No, just the Simba tomato chip, the red one.
Oh, yes, yeah. That's a nice one.
I don't think they're going to make that anymore.
Obviously, it wasn't selling well.
Why? I was buying all of it.
Well, maybe you just one of the very small...
yeah, but it's such a bummer. If you want... The only thing tomato to get now is Fritos.
But can't hate tomato
No,
Fritos.
but like I love Simba tomato, but now looks like it's been replaced with chakalaka, which is rad. But
I've tasted that. I think I don't. There's only. Oh, geez, something just flew in my eye. The only thing with the Simba chips, I like the salt and vinegar.
Yeah.
I like the Mexican chili.
Yeah.
And I like smoked beef.
Yeah, I haven't had that in a while.
I'm missing one, but the rest, the chakalakas, the biltongs, they taste so synthetic.
Yeah, I get you. But I kind of like the chakalaka. I don't like my favorite Simba ones is like you. It's the salt and vinegar. I do like the chakalaka. It's not my favorite. The tomato is my favorite. And
they are nice though.
The chutney one is cool.
You suck the tomato ones.
Yeah, dude.
You get all
especially when it's just solid red.
You get all the powder off first.
I'm just gonna cream. The chutney one, I like the chutney, but if I use my scale of how good a chip is if I can eat a whole bag by myself. The chutney one, I can only have half before I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, so that's like the other ones I can just munch it, but I might not enjoy it. I've never been a big beef fan. Cheese and onion, I'm not so huge on.
Jared, once again, also he likes the cheese flavor. I think that is the worst flavor of the lot.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like the cheese flavor.
Cheese works if you got like a badass dip to go with it. But like on its own, it's like
fair point. But I still would not buy it.
No, I was only buying tomato and salt and vinegar, and now they're taking my precious tomato away, and I have to go to chocolate.
No, but I mean, listen, is that really true though?
I've heard it from a few people. I don't know if it's true. Fuck. My sources are just people.
Because it's also maybe stores just don't stock it because they could also produce less of.
I've checked Spar here. I've checked Woolly sometimes has. I checked Pick and Pay, Checkers. None of them have.
Yeah.
All gone off the face of the planet. Crazy. And I keep forgetting to research on the internet, because I'm busy during the day.
Crazy. Can I tell you another thing that I picked up recently? I've been swapping between between Pick and Pay and Spar.
Yeah.
There's something I've realized every single time I go to either Pick and Pay or Spar. Whenever I go to Pick and Pay, everybody's so miserable. Everyone who works there.
Yeah.
And then every single time I go to Spar, the people recognize you, they greet you, they're smiling, they're joking, they are so happy. And they, for the most part, I've never had a bad experience with staff there.
And you're talking about the two that's over here?
The two, yeah.
Yeah.
And you go to Pick and Pay, and they
literally... I have to agree, this Pick and Pay
they're just
sucks.
so miserable. They're like, it may be management style.
I definitely think it's that, man. That's the only reason why.
It's crazy, dude. And I was just like, I went to Spar after I went to Pick and Pay because they didn't have something I wanted, went and got something I wanted. And I just noted a and obviously I'm not going on one person. I'm going on track record and something that I've experienced, as time has gone on, and I've always said it to myself, but it's the first time I've actually told someone that
you've noticed.
Every single time I go to the different store, people are always miserable at the one spot, and then the other spot, everybody's so jovial and happy.
I wonder if it's the altitude difference because they're higher up by a couple of floors.
Yeah, they're getting less oxygen. It's got denser air. They're getting less downforce.
Yeah, less downforce.
Brazil
syndrome. Yeah, exactly. Totally. Dude. Yeah.
Well, Mexico syndrome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it has to be a management thing. I mean, with a job like that, I can only imagine how shit it would work. How shit it would be to work there.
They're doing the same job. That's the thing.
Yeah, but can you imagine how shit it would be to do a job like that and your boss is giving you hell all the time?
No, for sure. Like, no, 100%. But exactly, it may be the management issue, because but it's also the people. If you're just a genuinely happy person, you maybe wouldn't let certain things get to you like that. Yeah. So I don't know if it's that, but the people at Spar are just far more jovial for some reason.
Probably because they are busier, and
maybe it's a training thing as well.
But I'm also not half joking about being a high level, because Spar is on the ground floor. They feel that they can escape at any time. But if the pick and pay, they got to take a lift or get in the car and go down the thing. I don't know. It's got to be some psychological thing about working on a ground floor versus working 3 floors up. There must be something to that.
Listen, let's research it and we'll get back to you.
Yeah, there must be some study. Working on the ground floor makes you happy. How your floor can impact your health and happiness. Well,
that's hilarious, bro. But speaking of things that we may or may not buy ever again, this is a little segment we like to call Beer of the Week. What do you got for this week's Beer of the Week?
Well, I went to go hunt and I was looking for something and I got this. It's from a brewery called Mad Giant, and it's called Killer Hop. And the reason why I picked it is because the graphic on the front is a skull ring on a fist, and it's a pale ale. Mercy buckets,
baby. Let's go.
And then I can't read any of this text because it's black on red. So
wait, let me see. Are you colorblind?
No, I just can't read black on red because that's not what you do with design.
Oh, geez. Okay, that's a 0.25 of a point down, but we can't do 0.25. So
find another 0.25.
But then again, if you that's a design flaw. Yeah. But maybe they're trying not to make it so illegible.
I don't think it's more
legible.
It's more look rather than actual,
So it goes explosive and tasty with 4 types of aromatic hops and a touch of malt, a refreshing burst of tropical fruits, hops, barley and wheat, water and yeast, unpasteurized, keep refrigerated. And it's quite nice that they stamped the best before, because remember, every single time we have a beer of the week, you're like, is it expired? And no, it's not. 2022. So
and then on the side it says, slay it.
So
mediocrity is the monster. You are the hero. This is your weapon. You know what to do. What? Drink and drive. What the fuck are you trying to say?
You could have got me to read that without looking so nerdy with your phone, but cheers.
I'm the nerdy one with the phone. Yeah. Okay.
Where's the glasses? No, but it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Nah, fuck the glasses.
Apologies, Mike Cubic, the creator of the Mike Cubic scale, or the namesake of the Mike Cubic scale. So let's give it a drive-by. Ooh. That smells quite nice.
That smells very, very fruity. That's for
very
damn
fruity,
sure.
very nice, very much down my alley.
This is going to be a headache monster. How much percentage does this have? 5%. Okay.
Oh.
What?
That's good.
Oh, really?
It's 5%. That's good. How's it on the price scale? Obviously, don't mention the...
Dude. This wasn't that much more than SAB breweries as well.
Ooh, that's nice. You know what? I like this too. And forgive me, I haven't had it in a while.
Yeah.
Very much It gives me a hint of like the Devil's Peak First Light.
Yes.
Something, it tastes very similar to that, but it's got more Blockhouse in it as opposed to First Light. So if you get a First Light and you throw a little bit of Blockhouse flavor in it.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's the craft beer that I pretty much drink the most because they're decently priced and they sell in 6-packs.
I must say that with this, I don't think I would have another. Not for the reason that I said before, where like if I have one, I've had enough. It's like this smells different to how it tastes, and
do you know what?
It's got a sour aftertaste that hits the back of your tongue there a bit, but it's quite malty, I find, and this is supposed to be a pale ale.
I like it. Also, just another thing is, I was responding to something that you said. I can't remember what you said now.
You were probably talking about how pretty I am or something.
That too.
Yeah, cool.
But I can't remember what I was saying. But it's you said you wouldn't buy it again. You would only have one or two.
You said Blockhouse some stuff, and I said like the previous time with Mike that
the King's Blockhouse from Devil's Peak though.
Yeah, I had it this weekend.
Man, my point was poignant, but it has escaped me. If it comes back to me, I'll let you know.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
No.
But
I like.
That's what I was gonna say. You know what I don't like?
What?
A pet peeve of mine is when you smell a
fruit.
No. When you smell a bottle top of a beer, you're trying to smell whatever. That's why Mike says you
put
need
it
to pour
in a
into
glass. Yeah.
Because all I can smell is the metallic.
Oh, from the cap.
From the cap.
I don't know if I smell that. I honestly can't tell you.
Anyway.
All I know is that when you cracked it open, there was a very fruity smell. And then when I took a sip, I didn't taste any of it.
I'm getting mad flavor from Mad Giant. Killer hop right here. All right, so let's just go to my cubic scale rating out of 5.
3. Yeah.
I'm going to give it a solid 4.
No.
Yeah. I like this. I like this a lot. And I would drink plenty of them. I drink maybe 3.
This feels like...
then they could get a bit much.
Yeah, I like this as well. It's just a bit... It's a bit heavy for me. I think it might be quite... I think it's rather malty for me, but... I'll be able to enjoy one, but I wouldn't be like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. And then, and it's not like if I had to go out and buy a beer, it's not, this is the one I wouldn't buy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I do enjoy it. I think it tastes good. It's just a bit too malty for me. That's the only thing.
Also, when we have some time, we need to get that graphic going with all the beers we've tasted so far.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that'll be sick.
Yeah.
So that's a 7 out of 10. Solid 7 out of 10 for the Mad Giant Killer Hop Pale Ale. Good choice this week. Great artwork. Brown bottle.
No deposits on the bottom of the bottle, bro.
I just think it's pretty cool. It's pretty hip. I like the fist with the green knuckle. The green ring, the skull
deep
ring.
Pink with the green and the white works really nice.
It reminds me of it's Miami Styles, baby.
Yeah, but there's no deposits on the bottom either. It's totally clean and crisp, and
hey, that's even gets a 4.5,
and it's even keeping its fizz. But I'm keeping
it
at
4.5.
Okay, so 7.5.
Yeah, 7.5. Yeah, look clean as day. And I don't like the floaty stuff.
That throws me off.
You know what? Someone needs to. I mean, we need to get Mike on and tell us what the hell that is. It's probably just yeast and...
Yeah, it must be all that stuff, mate, and it's probably just not distilled, because the more you distill it, the more you're taking away. So it's almost like a balance, I would think, that the more you got to find this balance between over-distilled and undistilled to get like the optimum flavor, It's like, are you going to be fast in the straights or fast in the corners, that kind of thing.
Smack a smile on.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you right now, smack a smile. Because that's the slogan for Mad Giant. Good job, Mad Giant. That was cool. This is a nice beer. I really like this.
I do enjoy it, but I won't buy it if I only could pick one.
Wow, that's nice.
It would
That's
be
nice.
Vintage Draft still.
Yeah, no, we've had that conversation. But good job this week on Beer of the Week. I really like that.
Yeah, I like it as well.
This is how we do things around here. Oh, shit.
So, in terms of what you got, the only thing that I've got is I've been seeing lots of gigs popping up here. Boom, boom, boom. People are getting ready. I mean, it's also a weird time of year in the sense that a lot of people are away and a lot of people are, traveling. I suppose it is the festive season, so things get booked and, venues book artists and whatnot.
Yep.
But I'm starting to see a serious uptick, which is cool.
Yeah,
And I've been monitoring the numbers as well. Let's not mention that. But
no.
And everything's kind of stayed exactly the same.
Yeah, I mean, I'm even with the Deadbeats. We're playing a toy run at Killarney racetrack. We are one of three other cover bands. So there's like a whole biker toy run thing that they do, and we're playing there. That's on the 28th at Killarney. There's that. I'm going to be doing a show with the white guys at a place called Dust and Dynamite the night before.
Oh, I know Dust and Dynamite.
Yeah.
I haven't been there, so I'm going to come to that.
Well, it's just going to be the three of us because Steve will probably be on his way to Miami because he has to go to some design expo or something like that.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be the three of us. So we're not going to be three more white guys that night. We're going to be called Welcome to Penguin. So we're just going to we're pretty much going to do what we did at the end of the show that I told you about, where we were just like playing whatever song and we would work it out and play it. I think that's what we're going to do.
Awesome.
And it's a tiny little place. It's like half the size of this room.
What?
Well, half the width of it and still a bit longer.
Jeez.
It's a tiny place. And there's no electric lights. All the lights are candles and everything is wood. So, yeah.
Wow.
I'm
dude,
waiting
that's
for the
awesome.
day for that place to burn the
but
fuck down.
Can you please keep me posted? Because, I mean,
Yeah.
I would like to be part of some of the shit. Maybe what we can do is also, we can film some of the stuff. And we can put it up and, we can blog it out or vlog it out or whatever you call it.
I know. And I'm also doing Cafe Rue on the 28th. So I've got 3 things happening. They're not big. They're not massive stuff. But I've got 3. And including the show I just played, that's like 4 shows in a year.
Yeah.
5 if I count the other Cafe Rue. So it's 5 shows in a year. Last year, I think I only played 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just by looking at that, and it's all happening now, so there must be tons. Didn't you say that Half Price is playing somewhere?
No, Half Price played this weekend.
They
played
played
at Unclass. So
Okay.
it's good to see them back and
Do you know
jamming.
how that went?
I was gonna message Carl for today's episode, but then because he was the one that posted from behind his drum kit.
Oh, cool.
And I was gonna message him, but it was super short notice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, it's so cool to see this happening, and it's put a fire in my belly, and yeah, I'm looking forward to jamming. I've got a jam on Wednesday. So do you, but we're not going to get into that. We're gonna, yeah. I got Nathan sending me song ideas, which is going to be so far out of my comfort zone. So I'm looking forward to just breaking some new barriers in my musical journey. Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, I've never done proper vocals before.
Yeah, you're gonna be
I'm gonna be doing some vocals, but I mean, no one's gonna hear anything until I'm 100% satisfied. But yeah,
You know what? I was joking around, and I'm also half serious when I joke around that I want to start 2 bands, where the one is we improvise a musical score to sports games at sports bars. So like if there's a rugby game, we're playing on the side, we're playing to the match.
Oh my word!
Like we
I
have
mean,
like
you can't even. I mean, how do you manage that in real time?
yeah, but you just like if something's happening, you just like build up, and then
wow.
it's like
Okay, that could be
play
cool.
like that. And then the other one, I wanted to start a band where we only do sound checks to get people into a venue, and then we leave.
Okay. What, so you just like
Yeah,
bust
we
out?
set up, we play, like sound check, get everything fucking perfect. People walk around and go like, hey, what's what? And they go like, yeah, no, we're just doing sound check because that's what we do.
Oh my
and then
God.
they come inside, they chill, and then like it's like, is that cool? Cool. Just pack up and leave. It's just like, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I've had someone say to me that was an awesome show, and I said that was just sound check.
There we go. That's exactly why.
Yeah.
That's exactly why.
Yeah, that's happened to me.
Because they always hang out just for the sound check, and then when you want to play, they know where to be seen.
Hey man, I'm hoping to see some sort of development in terms of venues in Cape Town here. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it seems as Joburg's on fire. They've got Sonar and a couple of other places there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really looking forward to. I mean, because there's places like Cafe Roo and all those other places where guys like Matthew Mole and Kiflis
Yeah, that's
and,
like their specialist
and all
kind
those
of thing. Yeah.
guys can play. You know, Majorzy, Jeremy Loops. I mean, the list could go on. Carstens, the list could go on.
But where's all the Atlantic Souths going to play?
Exactly, and the Ill Systems and the Fallen Prophets and Face in the
Prices.
Gallows and Red Helen and Half Price.
Where
you
are
know,
they going to play?
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean,
know.
you can't always go to
I mean, I
Stellenbosch.
want to see a Crossfire Collision gig. I want to see a Verona Walls gig. I want to see a Dream Demon gig. I want to see a Treehouse Burning gig. I want to see.
Sounds like what you want is a festival.
I want to see them all, but I want to see everybody coming out of the woodworks and actually doing stuff. I want to see an Alpha Sequence or Hollow Hook or whatever they were called. I want to see Megalodon. Dude, how sick would it be see Dane playing drums and the boys.
Yeah, because I don't think he's been doing any challenging stuff
Yeah.
with his recent projects.
So everybody, if anyone is listening to this from those areas or those bands, I mean, I could go on. The list can go on.
I wonder if we should set up like something like a
Peasant is a band that you need to look at. Always doing shit. Cape Townian. Who else is Cape? The Dukes of Note. They always doing shit. Yeah.
What I was gonna
there's a
say
lot
is
of
that
them.
maybe we should set up a Papa G's house gig guide.
Yeah, we can do that, but I don't want to take. I want to. There's certain dudes who do that like already, like Pat and Metal for Africa.
Yeah.
Let's leave that for him
Yeah.
to do because he's very good at it. and
Furry
stuff.
muff.
I don't want to. I don't want to encroach on anybody's vibe. Plus, I really enjoy the way this vibe has turned out with you and me. Just talking shit.
I reckon what we do if we were going to do that, we just put on like an Excel sheet with like editing rights for everyone. You just add your gigs in the Excel sheet so we can read it off live.
Yeah, we can do
So
that.
just chuck it in there.
Yeah,
Go.
we can do that. If if that's what. So
we might get some porn in there though.
Yeah, but you figure out that's fine.
Dane, I've got my eyes on you, bro.
Well, first of all, you need some sort of media accounts for you to get the inbox.
Here we go.
So follow Art at nowhere.
LinkedIn.
At Art Pereira on fucking YouTube. That's the only place you can find him.
Yeah.
Because all your videos are there. And actually do go give that a sub, to be honest with you, because you got some good shit up there. Remember episode 9, I talked about the way you slammed NTN. And
Jeez,
that was
man.
awesome, dude. That was so sick. And also, we're like halfway through the podcast, and I have not mentioned your fucking sneakers tonight.
Yeah, I was wondering because these are the white ones I was telling you about.
Yeah, I'm loving them.
How cool are they,
They're
dude?
sick, dude. I really dig them. They're like, that takes me back to like
Big ass fucking tongue.
early 90s
That's what they are.
basketball shoes.
That's what these are. These are, like I said, these are not
They were the
not-
Jordans before Jordan got hold of them,
Yeah,
basically.
but these aren't reissues, unfortunately, because they're not exactly the same. It's like similar in style to the old ER 280s and 290s or 320s or whatever were. So this is more of like a fashion sneaker,
Yeah.
but it's the vibe of it, and I dig them. They're super comfy.
And props for keeping them still pretty fresh.
I told you, bro. I wear these things rare.
Yeah,
Try
yeah,
and keep
yeah.
them as white as possible.
Yeah.
Never been cleaned, and I've
That's
had
what
them
we
for
said.
2 years.
Yeah, that's what we said off air. Last week we were like, I like to see you busting out all your best sneaks for the show. That's awesome.
No, I love
Plus,
these
you know,
guys.
they're not going to get dirty in this environment, so
No.
it's all good. So you must wear the I'm
love
going to
these things.
start. I'll wear my Jordan 1s next week. How's that? I'll do that.
Looking
I've
forward
only
to
worn
it.
them once ever, and I've had them for like 4 months.
Well, we are looking for sneaker sponsors because we're trying to make them
Are we?
stretch. So yes,
Okay.
we are. As of now, we are looking for sneaker sponsors because we're
Okay.
trying to make our own stretch.
Yeah.
So Cons, Nike, Adidas, hit us up.
Yeah. Well, geez, we got to get a few more subscribers and a few more likes. And
They don't need
videos.
to know that. Fuck it.
Yeah, well, on that note, hit a subscribe if you're new. Thank you for sticking around if you have this long. And check us out at Gareth PGH. We're working on art. We're working on it. It's a very slow process. I'm trying as hard as I can, you know, because I even said to him last week, dude, Instagram's just pictures. You don't even need to put a caption. You can just to do a little hashtag, but you don't need to rant your hashtag. So, you know, hashtag hate. So follow art at Gareth PGH for now. If you guys want to hit us up or anything, I haven't checked the Gmail address in forever. I've been chatting to a couple of people. We got some cool interviews coming. We're just trying to figure out what the hell we're doing in terms of how the formats for the virtual interviews are going to go. Obviously, if they're available, they can come in studio, but that's not always possible. So, you know, be patient with us. But I fucking love just chilling, talking shit, dude. But yeah, so do all the above. Thanks for subscribing. Hit that notification bell, and we'll be back. I don't even know what we were talking about.
We're going to do a sports update next.
Sports update. Let's go.
Yay, sports.
There's so much sport happening at the moment. I love it. One thing I want to just point out first is the absolute the crowds. In every sports game, there are crowds at every game.
Like the rugby, man. Jeez.
Dude, how amazing was that? It was incredible. But before I want to mention that is speaking of sports, and I don't know if you've been following this on YouTube or anything like that. In America, they've got this very reputable, very popular sports vlog podcast. It's like a network called Barstool Sports.
No, I haven't seen that. No.
And
check it out.
So they were founded years and years ago, but they've become heavyweights, and like the owner or the founder is put it there proudly, because that was a great beer. Shout out, what's it? Killer Hop Mad Giant.
Yeah.
It's a very successful thing, and the guy who founded it, it's like he's worth like $118 million now. Like he's super rich.
Stole my idea, the bastard.
And dude, you should check out the network. It's impressive. Like, that's kind of, you know, we can't fit everything into one little episode. So if we're going to do sports, maybe we should branch off and do a sports only vibe.
Well, we spoke about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, those are things that I want to explore, because obviously the more content, the better, and people can choose what they want to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, too many videos is never really an issue.
Papa G's Media.
Well, no, but maybe that's when we can start
PGH
changing
Media.
Yeah, PGH. Yeah, we don't even have to have the puppet. PGH is fine. PGH podcast.
Sick.
Yeah, that's where I want to. And people don't have to know what the the diehards will, but yeah.
Oh my god.
But so he's been. There's a big hit piece out on him. I say hit piece because that's what they claim it to be. Blah blah blah. Being accused of rape.
Oh no.
Because he's but I don't want to start that on like the negative note, because he came out and did a emergency press conference. The first thing that your lawyers tell you to do is to shut up, not say anything. He did an hour live stream, and he presented every single bit of his evidence that he had, debunking everything that was written in the article. And he went timeline, chronological order, exhibit 1 to like 27. You can paint whatever picture you want. Read the article, look at the response, look at the amount of times you try to reach out to them to say, hey, listen, I'll give you my time, but let's record a video and you can use whatever you want. But as long as we have the raw files, so we know it's not edited, blah, blah, blah. But that's going a lot more deeper into it. They declined, essentially. Where it's kind of like where there's smoke, there's fire, but in America is where there's smoke, there's fire, because there's so much dissension there at the moment. It's a crazy place to be.
Yeah, I know that there's been in the past few allegations that proved to be false, and recorded to be false and caught out to be false. So you can't. I mean,
Well,
if the
evidence
allegations
says
doesn't
everything.
mean it's happened.
But
Exactly.
evidence says everything. So he
Yeah.
went and he started now doing DMs. He obviously blurred the. But cancel culture is a real thing. But
Yeah,
but anyway, that's not what I want to talk about.
That's a different podcast.
Yeah,
all the
100%.
same.
But go. All I want any listener, go check it out. Check the timeline and go check it out. It's super interesting. I know obviously people got hurt or they allege they got hurt or whatever the case may be. Super interesting case, good one to follow. But so yeah, that took 3 minutes of your life. But go check it out. It's seriously interesting.
Dude,
or just go read the articles. It was an article written by the Business Insider. He came out on Twitter, did a whole bunch of other stuff. We're talking about powerful people, and it's just really interesting to see his approach, because lawyers 99.9% of the time will tell you, no, don't do anything stupid.
Yeah,
and he's
just
gone
shut
and done
up.
a full live stream, blah, blah, blah. But super interesting. You make up your mind. You make up your mind. You make up your mind. Simple.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's a lot we could talk about.
Let's talk about the rugby, bro.
Yeah, we talk about the rugby first. South Africa overcoming
Wales and Scotland.
Well, I didn't watch the Wales game because I was at the wedding.
I saw the Wales game, and it was, from what I remember, and listen, I'm not the biggest rugby guy, but it felt like it could go either way, and it felt like it was in Wales' favour going towards the end. And then when we scored that try that ended up being like turned down, was we were in the lead and then we weren't, and then we just managed to score a try at the end there and then secured the match. And it was very exciting at that point, because obviously it's like, what's happening? But like throughout the whole game, it's like there wasn't a clear winner, but it felt like Wales would have taken it.
Yeah. Well,
and that was exciting for me, because like I like it watching a game, even the game that I don't follow, when it's tense and you don't know the result. That makes it interesting, no matter what sport it is.
Totally.
So it was a cool game.
Yeah, I mean, I can't comment on that game. I didn't see it. I was, and for me, live sport, I got to watch it live. If it's live, I just check the highlights or the write-ups or whatever. So I didn't watch that. All I saw was the France Stain interview, which was hilarious. He's like, well, I've never lost here.
Oh, really?
It's like, they're like, oh, France, you haven't won here in so many. He's like, well, I have never lost here. And I thought that was great. Look, those teams are strong. Especially at home.
Yeah.
But
Scotland, are they normally quite strong? Because they did put up a bit of a fight in the beginning there.
They're no joke, dude. Those teams, and they are, because, think about this. A lot of our players will go off. Let's take Percy Montgomery, for instance.
Jeez, I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah, but this is where the trend started. So basically what happened is he was playing Springboks, he was playing for Province. He then got contracted overseas. He came back from overseas a different player. Yeah. And he was a machine. And he went and won a World Cup with that experience. That's what's happening now with these players that are getting contracted overseas. Their level of rugby is so slick.
Because even Scotland's match, they looked like they were putting up a good fight, and they scored two really good tries, really nice tries.
Yeah,
it was
you
beautiful
can never
tries,
count
actually.
any of them out. I mean, think about it. I mean, the bloody wing's called Dejan van der Heever, but
Geez, that one dude in Scotland, he's built like a brick. brick shit house.
Was
He
it the
looked like a
prop?
fucking building.
Did he have the long hair?
No, yeah, he had
was
the long.
tank.
He was like thick neck.
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
just
yeah.
thick.
He was the prop.
He looked like he was
Yeah, he was
all
huge.
bone.
We were commenting about him.
Jeez, that
But-
guy was huge.
It was a good win.
Yeah,
A win's a win.
yeah,
at
it
the
was a
end of the
good
day.
win. But like Scotland, I think they did well.
Yeah,
I thought
very
they
very
did.
physical.
Yeah.
Very physical.
I thought they did well.
Yeah, but for me, the game that happened next overshadowed that game. The Irish game against the New Zealanders.
I saw the
Oh, my
first.
word.
I saw the first like 15 minutes of it, but I don't know what happened. So what happened?
It was a phenomenal performance. They just because New Zealand only needs one chance to do anything,
Yeah.
and they just turn the tides like that.
Yeah,
And Ireland stuck on. There were a few hairy moments. They were on the try line. New Zealand were on the try line. Then it was a penalty, and it was just one of the most action-packed games of rugby I've ever watched. We weren't even supposed to watch the game. We started watching the first couple of minutes. Then there was the James Lowe try, and we were like, holy shit, we need to watch this whole game. This is going to be fireworks right the way through. And we were right.
wow.
It was incredible. One of the best games of rugby I've ever checked.
So who won?
Ireland
Ireland
won.
won.
Dude. Yeah,
Wow.
it was incredible. And it was...
I didn't see that coming.
It was Sexton's 101st game. So he went and beat... I don't know. Who did Ireland beat last week? Must have been was England, Australia?
I don't know.
can't
Don't
remember.
ask me.
And then there was the Australia-England game. I don't know what happened after that because that's when I started going gallivanting.
Yeah.
But that Irish-New Zealand game was unbelievable.
Wow.
Unbelievable. As Hugh Bladen would say, unbelievable.
yeah. Yes, I've heard that.
But,
This
yeah.
is unbelievable.
South Africa on the front foot.
You sound just like him, dude. That's amazing.
But yeah, dude.
I was actually in a lift with him once.
Is it?
Yeah, because like it was
Good
many-
day, Art. My name is Hugh. Nice to meet you.
like a robot voice. It was years and years ago. A buddy of mine had season tickets at Newlands, and it was a Super 14 match or something. I think it was the Hurricanes versus the Stormers, I believe. It was a red team from New Zealand, is all I know. And we were in the lift going to our seats, and he was there, and the guy did the fucking drop kick to win the 95 World Cup.
Joel Stransky.
Stransky was in the lift as well. So like I'm standing next to Ryle, and Stransky was here, and then that commentator's over there. I keep forgetting his name. And then like Ryle's just doing this. He's bumping my elbow, and I'm like, what? And he looks, and I check. He's like,
Yeah, it's royalty.
yeah.
bro.
And we were like high fiving, and then he's watching us and
Yeah.
he's like, like laughing, and we check him, and then some dude has to go like, oh, you think the Stormers is gonna win with the drop kick, eh?
Yeah.
Stransky, and he's like, yes.
Oh, my
He just
God.
is like, yeah, I laughed, but
Yeah, dude. I mean,
always one
those,
tonsil.
Those dudes find that stuff like super cringe. I can imagine.
I was super cringy, dude. That guy thought he was
so
a fucking
funny.
comedian, but it was so cool because he was in the lift with us, and he saw us like high fiving because Stransky was like standing next to me, and he
That's
was just
hilarious.
like looking and smiling. It was awesome. It was
That's
the same thing
hilarious.
when I saw Brian McMillan at college. He was working with Minolta.
yes,
he was-
yes.
And they were talking about
Big
the
Mac.
laser printer that we had in college, and he's in there. And then a friend of mine, we saw him, and was like, and then we're just like looking at him like this, and then he just looks at the window, and we're like waving, and then he gives like a little bit of a thumbs up, and then we're like fucking high fiving and jumping up
Yeah,
and down,
yeah.
and he's like in this meeting, and he's like trying not to laugh.
That's so weird. I mean, like I wouldn't do that now, but I would have many moons ago.
yeah.
But yeah, like I had those reactions a couple of times when I met Jonah Lomu, dude.
You met Jonah Lomu.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, didn't really meet him,
May
but
he
it was
rest
like
in
a
peace still.
absolutely. But that's another thing that we were talking about on Saturday. We were just talking about the 95 World Cup because my mate saw James Dalton.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, it was weird to see him. And he was just like normal, blah, 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 just chilling on his phone. And I was like, dude, it's amazing. Because Chris Rousseau became like a huge, almost like a cult following. Because James Dalton was the number one.
Mm.
And then Chris Rousseau came in and he was unbelievable for the rest of the World Cup. And I always think, like, what if James Dalton didn't get sent off and get suspended from the World Cup? How that would have all worked out, because lineouts are one of the Springboks' strongest weapons. You know, they're set piece, scrums and lineouts. So I often think what would have happened if Canada and South Africa brawl didn't happen. We may not have won the World Cup.
Yeah, may not have.
Conspiracy theory.
Dude, you could say that about so many things, but I mean, interesting
No,
stuff.
for sure. But then again, that's it for the rugby for me. Like, I've got nothing else to say but that the level of rugby has really picked up again, and I'm stoked.
Yeah, I mean, just from the few games that I watched, I think it's looking good. Although I think that we did underplay against Scotland a bit. I think it should have been a bit more of a cakewalk, but that's just from my experience of what Scotland used to be like. I don't know how stronger they are now these days, so you know, I'm just talking out my anus.
For sure.
I thought it would have been a lot easier, but they held up against South Africa the first half quite well, I thought. Yeah.
But the big story,
dude, I've got nothing to say against it.
I just want to say the big story is 20 grid place penalty, made it up to 5th position in 24 laps from last to win the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. You may not like him. You may not like his team.
He deserved it.
He was in a league of his own, and we are talking about Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
I'm not a Lewis Hamilton fan, but you cannot not respect what he did.
No, dude. When he passed Verstappen, I was like, I'm not mad about this.
Yeah.
And I was like, good for you.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, you got a 5-place grid penalty because of the engine, and that's why he was so fast, because there's only 3 more races. So now they're like, let's murder this engine.
Yeah.
So they're basically
110%.
pushing all the performers out of that engine as much as they can. But he kept that car on track. He was perfect
Neat.
from first practice till the last lap of the main race. The entire time.
Some of the sexiest overtakes I've ever seen. The one of Lando Norris.
He was, dude. I mean, it helps that he has a faster car, but even if he did it, even if his car was as fast as Verstappen, I think he would have done the exact same job. That he was untouchable.
Unbelievable.
And
he made
I'm
up
not mad
25
about
places.
it. I'm not mad about it.
I'm not mad about it. He deserved it. 100%.
I'm actually, you know, I'm also not a Hamilton fan. I'm very happy that he won this race. Because that penalty that he got for being disqualified,
The
from
DRS
the
gap
pole,
was too big.
Yeah. What the hell? It was 0.02 of a millimeter.
It's still too big.
Yeah, but
And in those circumstances, that size can make a difference.
yeah, but my thing is like, why did they only like notice him? I'm pretty sure everyone else has got that tolerance. 0.2 of a millimeter is less than a hair length,
Yeah.
and 0.02 of a.
But it makes a big difference when you're talking downforce
Yeah,
at
but
300 kilometers an hour.
I'm pretty sure they should have checked everyone's car, and then that bullshit fucking fine that Verstappen got.
That's the next thing that I was going to say is that, you know, you meet ridiculous with ridiculous.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
But under Park
Firme.
whatever conditions, that's what I don't understand.
There's a great video of how much money would Vettel have lost with those Park Ferme rules. There was just a video of him touching everyone's car, and he didn't get touched.
They call him Seb the Inspector.
Yeah, Seb the Inspector. Yeah. That was hilarious.
Yeah, dude.
Why
no,
now?
How funny is it? But then, so he gets a €50,000 fine for touching the rear wing.
Yeah.
He pointed out the issue. He saw it. He was there. He could see. He touched the rear wing, gets fined €50,000. Then they come out on Instagram and they show you all the clips of Seb doing exactly that.
Yeah.
Just checking things out, looking in the cockpit.
He was even grabbing the front wing and wobbled it.
But then they followed up with a video of, at the end of the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, Seb over radio.
Yes.
In his Aston Martin, he
I'm
goes,
gonna
I'm
touch
going to go touch his rear wing. And the engineer goes, don't you dare. And he goes, yes, very expensive.
Yeah, and then he says, like,
I'm gonna
maybe I'll touch the front
wing.
wing.
It's cheaper.
Yeah, it might only be 25,000.
Oh, dude, that was so awesome. So awesome.
Yeah, but dude, I mean, geez, Verstappen drove out of his pants to hold him
As
back.
well,
That's
But Bottas wasn't very happy. He thought he needed a one stop.
yeah, but
I don't know. I don't agree with
Bottas, I think Bottas is not a.
He's
he
an
doesn't
Alfa
look-
Romeo already.
Yeah, but he is a very instinctual driver, but he doesn't necessarily know what the team is seeing with everything on there.
sure.
They've got all the stats. He doesn't. He can only see what he's got. So when a driver says, I think we should have kept on these tires, it's like, well, do you really? Anyways. But yeah, Verstappen drove out of his pants. But that pass where they both went off track, I'm on the fence of whether Verstappen actually drove him off because they both broke
That turn
quite
4
light.
incident.
Yeah,
The first one.
where they both went off. I think they they hit the brakes way too late, and you could check that there was no point that I could see, but there was no real good camera angle either. That he purposely
They didn't
went.
show.
He
They
just-
didn't show the footage from his cockpit though.
No.
Do you think they did that on purpose?
Maybe. But like from what I can see from his action of his car, is that he was trying to keep him on the outside, but then he was braking late, and he wasn't at any point where he was pushing to the right. He was either straight or turning left because it was understeer. They were on the dirty side. So I don't know. I think he was braking as late as possible and keeping as far right as possible to prevent him being passed, because that's an easy pass. I mean, everyone did it. So
Did you watch?
I don't know if it was legit.
Well, this let's put it into perspective. It looked egregious.
Egregious.
Now, did you watch the post press conference
Like when they were
when
being
they interviewed both of them?
together. No,
Yeah,
like were you talking about?
Lewis was so humble about it.
Yeah.
I think because he won.
Yes, of
Obviously,
course.
if he had lost, there would have
Yes,
been
yes.
an issue. That's what I like about Max. So Lewis said, I didn't think much about it at the time. Obviously, remember over the radio, he gave that sarcastic comment. Of course not.
Of course not. Yeah.
But at the end of the race, obviously because he had won, he played it down and was like, it was just hard racing. I didn't think anything of it. We didn't touch wheel to wheel, so that's good. And then Max came back and he said, also hard racing.
Yeah.
Simple as that, to double down on what they're saying. So it seems as though, and even Lewis said that it's championship racing.
Yeah, it's like you don't
Yeah.
want to take that away because say now you disqualify the
Yeah.
one guy and you give it away. It's
Yeah.
like the
And
worst
it's based
thing
on
they
a
could,
technicality.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
he was preventing him from passing him and he was trying to pass him.
100%. Love the vibe, and we got 3 races to go. Qatar next, dude. I'm so excited.
I've got a sneaking suspicion.
Lewis is going to take it in the last 3.
Yeah. Lewis is
I
gonna
also think so.
be
New power
championship.
unit.
Although he was pushing that thing fucking hard, he might have issues in the last race. So the only hope that Verstappen's got is that because Qatar's quite fast, is that he stays second,
Yeah.
and then see what he can do in the last 2 races.
If he wins, that's GOAT status. Greatest of all time.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
8 championships. One of the best title runs ever, including his one with Kimi, including his one with Felipe Massa.
And I was thinking now that they both had DNFs this year, but Verstappen had one more DNF than Hamilton did, because he got taken out in Silverstone. And
No,
then
he got taken out by Hamilton in Silverstone.
Yeah, but Hamilton still finished.
Yes.
And then they both got taken out. So Verstappen has had 2 DNFs to Hamilton's 1 DNF. And he's still fighting for the championship. So I think even if Verstappen finishes second, this has been his best season. He has been driver of the season for me.
For sure. I mean, he's won more races.
He's
Got
won more
poles.
races. He's finished. He's had one more DNF than Hamilton has, and they are both gunning for the thing. Even if Verstappen finishes, he's driver of the season, but it'll be overshadowed by the first 8-time Formula One
Yeah.
world champion. But I do think I honestly don't think Verstappen's going to win it.
Ooh.
And I don't think he's going to win the season.
That is a bold prediction. But
I'd rather be wrong than proven the other way. Then
yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah. I'm not going to make a prediction now because there are 3 races to go. I'll make a prediction after this weekend, after Qatar. Because
it's a fast track.
Yeah,
it's a fast track.
Yeah,
hard braking.
Yeah.
Long. I mean, just
by
playing the fucking game.
The corners.
Yeah, just by playing the game, there is a couple of corners where you slam the anchors, and when I'm playing, I have to hit the brakes just before the actual point where you brake because I will always go off. And those guys are millimeter to the fucking point.
Yeah.
So, and there's one where there's a fucking right turn, and in front of you is a wall. So. And that's after a long straight where they're gunning it like 320. Yeah. So it's anything can happen, but it's Hamilton has not made any driver errors. He's been faultless, and this weekend he was. I think this weekend was probably Hamilton's best weekend that I've ever seen him race.
Sure, absolutely.
Even though he had like a brand new engine that was 100, but still he fucking held it together.
Bring on Qatar, let's go.
Yeah,
let's go.
Be fun.
So just a couple of things I wanted to catch you up on because I mean I know at first you were quite high on getting used to and getting familiar with the UFC guys. 2 fights that you need to watch. UFC. two fights that you need to watch just back.
Yes.
Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler.
Okay.
And Max Holloway versus Yair Rodriguez.
Okay. And that
back to back.
Recently.
They were a week after each other.
Okay.
Max Holloway and Yair was this weekend.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Last weekend, the whole card was unbelievable. Well, let's actually say they almost broke a record. They tied the record. They were the most finishes in a card. Well, equaled the most finishes in a card that they've ever had.
Wow.
So that was an exciting night, but I'm not going to go through everything. There was some crazy knockouts, crazy submissions.
Wow.
But the main takeaways is Max Holloway is an absolute G. Yair Rodriguez, after 2 years not fighting, is an absolute G. Justin Gaethje is alien. And Michael Chandler wants CTE faster than you can say Jack Robinson because he just walked forward with his hands down and just got clipped left, right, and center. You need to watch that. Fight of the millennium type shit.
I will watch it.
Not going to comment on much more than that other than I saw a crazy post recently. Kamaru Usman, who's had 50, he's undefeated in the UFC, 15 fights, no losses. He's defended his title 5 or 6 times. Then you've got Khamzat Chimaev, who's had 4 fights in the UFC, but they created so much hype about him. He has now surpassed Kamaru Usman in social media following.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's a big thing. It's like it's crazy to think. It's a big part of it. They trash talk on Instagram. They trash talk on Twitter.
Yeah.
To think that Khamzat Chimaev has only been around for 4 fights. He's got 2.8 million followers on Instagram, and Kamaru Usman, who's been in the UFC for years, has been undefeated. He's on his way to being GOAT status. He's defended his title like 5 times, and he's got less followers. It's crazy. Personalities, eh?
Yeah.
Personalities is what gets you. But obviously talent as well. Let's not get mistaken.
Well, dude, mistaken. I mean, say I don't know how I would put this, but you have the people that have been following forever, but then you always have the market open that they want to get new people in, and it's those personalities that will bring the people in. So if that guy's social media following is increasing and shows that he's becoming popular, that just means that more people are watching. That means it's just, the sports is going to get bigger. That's cool.
I think it's also he's Russian, Chechenian, so there's a lot more people.
Russians
in that area.
are huge into that shit.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, just a very interesting fact. But this has been a long episode, so it's time for Outrageous.
This is
Outrageous.
God damn, I hate it.
All right, so this week's Outrageous, I'm going to choose Car 33.
Car 33. Okay.
Get your glasses on, old man.
Okay, how does this phone work again? Okay, here we go. Car.
Have you got an iPhone now, dude?
I've always had an iPhone.
Jeez, bougie as fuck.
iPhone for life.
Bougie.
Honestly,
Bougie.
I've had Windows Phone.
Even more reason for you to have Instagram in immaculate stories.
I've had Windows Mobile. I've had Android, and I've had iPhone. And I'm not going away from iPhone. I hate Android. Anyways, okay, number 33.
Yes.
Driving hard in residential areas, pops and crackles. It's
That's so funny you say that because you've driven hard in my area.
yeah.
in
Only,
your
only when I say
Lexus.
cheers. Only when I say
You go,
cheers. But
So, but you're contradicting yourself.
nah, but there's these guys that own. I mean, that's because I'm trying to.
But
annoy
you don't
you.
do have pops and crackles. You just got that heavy.
Yeah. But like, I only do that to annoy you. But the thing that what happens is that these guys in GTIs that they've dropped it on like BC racing coilovers, and they've removed their fucking cats, and they rewired everything to have like the pops and crackles, and then they're going on 2nd Avenue. You know, 2nd Avenue is basically just like speed bump city
Yeah.
and pothole city, and
Yeah.
you just hear bump, bump,
Yeah, totally.
and then they go up and down Rosmead Avenue, and you just hear
I used to
at like 4 fucking in the morning.
dude, cars have come a long way. Dude, I used when I was at the office, I didn't go to the office
me
anymore,
off.
but I had a lot. Guys in like souped up Nissan Sentras and shit like that.
Oh man, those were the days when all they did was just take the muffler
Drag,
off
yeah.
and drag. Now it's like this pops and crackles thing is for some reason super popular, and now car companies like Mercedes-Benz, like the A45s, the hatchbacks, the AMG ones, they put that as an option that you can like select in sport mode, that it just opens up stuff and it makes pops and crackles. Because these fucking cunts, they're into that shit. And then like you just accelerate, and then like on the fucking rev down, you just hear tuck, 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 tuck. There's all these. It sounds like the world's biggest
Did we
jar
just drop-
of popcorn that you've ever fucking had, and they do it for no reason because there's speed bumps. And then like they go like, you know what'd be a great so you know what, dude, you know what'd be a great idea, let's go drag racing at 4 a.m. outside of a fucking like a retirement
Residential
house
area. The M5, they do it here all the time.
all the fucking time. And when I was in Kirstenhof, I could hear them in the middle of the suburb, and they like fucking miles away. So you can imagine how loud their cars are.
Yeah, dude.
I know this chick that works with me. She lives
Sound travels as well.
Yeah, she lives in
But did we just drop the first C-bomb on the fucking...
yes,
Might
we did.
just beep that up.
She stays right by Kenilworth, the race course, right on the M5, like right
Yeah.
there. And they are up there every
I hear the
night.
pops and crackles from here, bro.
Dude, I can't fucking stand it. It's like just that setting is. I don't know why car companies put that in as a setting, because it's obnoxious. But the thing is, I get why they do it, because it's hilarious when you're driving and the car does that. It's hilarious.
Do you know what I always think?
What?
Oh, that's another wooden cross on the highway.
That's if it was a motorbike.
No. Most of the accidents and the wooden crosses along the M5
Oh yeah,
are
it's
from
because of
drag
those
racing.
guys. Yes, of course.
Because there's heavy banks and trees.
Yeah, and
So
then
if
they
you
go,
lose control, you're going down a bank, you're hitting a
do
tree.
you remember that video? It was all over the internet like a couple years ago of this dude on the M5 he was on the N1 past Century City. He was in a BMW M5.
No. Do you know
And
who?
he was going like 360
and the guy
Ks,
popped
and
over the other side.
his tire blew, and then he went like this. He clipped another car and fucking rolled and stuff.
Do you know whose video footage that was?
Whose?
Alex Williamson. It was his
Bullshit.
dash cam.
Bullshit.
That was his dash cam. The car hit him.
Wow.
Yeah. It was the other guy, the guy who passed away, he was actually an actor.
Yes.
Yeah, and he flew over the
Flew over.
barricades and rolled on the other on incoming traffic.
Yeah.
That was Alex's.
Was that his dash cam?
His dash cam.
Jeez, I remember that one. I was
Crazy.
talking about a different one, but
But
jeez, I remember that one.
I
Yeah, but
definitely agree with you. I definitely agree with you.
But that's the thing. It's like these guys that drag race by themselves between speed bumps on 2nd Avenue. Fuck off. and then the pops and crackles. I mean, every sports car now, there's a sport mode which opens up all the valves in the exhaust, which makes that sound. It does nothing for performance. It just makes the noises. and I hate it. I fucking can't stand it.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you. I mean, listen, I like the Pops and Crackles. I love the DSG engine on Volkswagens and stuff like that. Yeah, I like a DSG. It gives you that airflow, that pop and crackle at gear change. That was the change in gearboxes. It was the instead of going
yeah, but I'll tell you
now
I had a car with a DSG, and after 28,000 Ks, I had to get the clutch replaced. My cousin, he was a second-hand car dealer for Honda, and they would give less than trade-in value for VWs with DSGs and Audis with DSGs, because those clutches are shit.
Put your butt on the camera.
Those clutches are absolutely shocking. They are really quick, but they wear out so fast. I mean, like I sent it into VW 5 times before they agreed to change the clutch, and when they did it was on 35,000 Ks.
Sure.
Yeah, so they are amazing when they're quick, but I would not buy one. If I wanted a car that I didn't want to worry, I wouldn't buy that. I would either get a manual or a torque converter automatic.
That's another thing. A salesperson said to my dad the other day, he was selling a Sirocco, and the woman said to him, how many Ks has your car got? And he was like, so and so. And she's like, well, how's the gearbox? And I was like, that's a weird question to ask. Anyway, we're going very long tonight, so
that's fine.
Dude, I completely agree with you with the Pops and Crackles. I hear it, and I'm not close.
Yeah,
and I hear it. Well. Sound travels obviously with the wind and whatnot. So, yeah, I got you on that one. So, gonna have to update number 33. Gonna delete it, and we'll start it with a new one. But that's been a great episode, dude. It was our first solo one in a while, in a long time.
Okay,
Fuck yeah, dude. It was good. So on that note, everybody, thanks for tuning in. If you stayed this long down the episode, please subscribe to Papa G's House. Hit us up at Gareth PGH on Instagram, as my cat just takes over here. But it's been a great episode. Can't wait to be back again next week. We're going to have a nice guest. And gross, from myself and Artur Carlos Diego Pereira III, my trusty co-host, this is Papa G's House, episode 104. Till then, we say peace. Yeah, that's where we're going. Ew. This is how we do